Hey friends!
Hi everybody.
So we were planning on doing a cooking video today, but instead we're getting ready for a hurricane.
Yep, Hurricane Milton is on its way, so we're getting ready for it. Yep.
Yes, so we thought we'd bring you along with us and kind of share the process because we've been through hurricanes for how many years we've been in Florida? 18 for me and 20 for you.
20 years in Florida. Yep.
So we've been doing this every year. We'll bring you along with us and show you what happens because we don't know what's going to happen yet.
Correct.
That's the thing with hurricanes is you don't know what's going to happen until it actually happens. Yep. We are having avocado toast this morning for breakfast. I've been really into it lately, and one of my boys does not like avocados, unfortunately, so we'll just have regular toast for him. But my other son does like avocado toast too, so he's gonna have that. And I like to rub some garlic on the toast first before I put the avocados on. I like to use my potato masher. It works so good for guacamole or when I'm doing avocado toast. It does it really fast and I like the texture. It's not too pureed. It's just enough of like a chunky texture. So I really like doing it with a potato masher. I mash up the avocados and then I add some green onion, cilantro, lime juice, salt and pepper to it. And that's about it. And then I'll put it on top of the bread, sprinkle lots of herbs and seasonings. You don't want another job?
Got another job.
What thing?
You're gonna have scrambled eggs.
Uh-huh.
So get a spoon for you, and then forks for Papa, Nathaniel, and Joshua.
No.
I mean Nathaniel and me.
Got them. Got all the things. I'll put them right here. I read that whole series of the Secret of the Hidden Scrolls 2 times.
Good job.
And now I'm rereading it, except I'm reading it in a different kind of book. How do I...
Sometimes I add some sliced tomatoes on top of the avocado, but lately we've been putting pickled onions on it. It's so good. And then for the eggs, sometimes we just do hard-boiled eggs, and other times I make poached eggs or just fried eggs. So lots of ways to do it.
So we're riding out the storm here at home. We are not in the evacuation zone or in the flood zone. Our home is farther away from the coastal water. So most of the time we just stay home for the storm. There's area where people have to evacuate. It's mandatory. In our area, if you feel like you want to go somewhere, that's good. But you're not required.
We've lived in this house for 10 years, and in all of those years, we've lost power only once. So that was, we lost power for 3 days. The rest of the time, we didn't lose power at all. We've never had any significant damage, never had any flooding. Actually, Sergi was talking to one of our neighbors who's lived here since 1996, and he said it's never flooded in this area. So.
Yeah. He's the original owner when all these houses were built in this area, and so we feel comfortable that nothing out of the ordinary will happen this time as well. But we're definitely praying for God to slow down the storm, not just slow it down, but for it to dissipate, for the storm not to cause damage to Florida, especially the coastal areas where the water can push inland from the Gulf of Mexico. So that is a concern for a lot of people who live on the coast. They're really close to the coastal water.
I mean, especially since Hurricane Helene was just last week, and that was terrible. There was so much devastating loss, especially North Carolina. And then in our area as well, we know lots of people who live closer to the water. And then even some areas that are not in the flood zone, which was the scariest part, is that an area of Florida got flooded that never gets flooded. So that is definitely horrible when you see people losing all of their property, their possessions, their houses are down to the studs, or like all the trees, and homes completely destroyed, and cars, and the worst obviously is people's lives. So it's so sad to see that. We're praying for everybody. I know lots of people are still displaced. They're not in their homes. It's going to take a long time to rebuild, and we're definitely feel very, very thankful that we didn't experience that in the hurricane. I mean, that's the thing with natural disasters and weather, is that it's unpredictable. I mean, hurricanes are a little bit predictable. We know they're coming in advance, but we never really know where exactly it's going to hit, what the damage will be like,
how hard the wind's going to be, and all that.
So we do everything we can to prepare, pray, and ask God to protect us, and then just hunker down, as they say, right?
Correct.
Anyway, we thought we'd try a little different type of video and do it kind of vlog style and share some hopefully helpful information, and maybe just your curiosity if you're not living in Florida. I'm sure the local Floridians will definitely relate, because they've been through all of it just like we have, and they know what it feels like when we're waiting for a hurricane.
There's a lot of fear of the unknown, and that's why people are leaving. And for some areas, it's a much better idea to leave and to stay somewhere away. Plus, if the power is lost in the home, it's not as comfortable when it's hot outside. And when the storm passes, the next day it's sunny and it's hot, and the AC. If there's no AC, then it gets uncomfortable.
And it's still hot here. Correct. Even in October.
It's still 85 today.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing, like if you don't live in Florida, you might not know that the worst hurricanes are in September, October. Hurricane season starts in June, and then it's throughout the whole summer. But usually it's just tropical storms and very low-key hurricanes, so I don't think it's ever been a really bad hurricane since we've lived here in the earlier months of the summer. But then September, October is when
it kicks it up a notch.
Because the water's so hot from being hot all summer long. So come along with us. All right, so here is our to-do list to prepare for a hurricane. Number one, get gas. So fill up our car with gas and get extra gas to be able to use it for the chainsaw or the generator or whatever.
Yeah. Our neighbor is very generous, and he has a generator that runs, they can run like 5-6 fridges, and he shares it with us every time there's a storm, so we don't have to run our own generator, which we never bought one because he has one, which is very nice. Yeah.
Yes, we have really, really awesome neighbors.
So have gas. Yep.
Yeah, so that's done. Because we have that generator, our food isn't going to spoil. So we don't have to worry about that. We have plenty of food in the pantry, in the freezer, in the fridge. So that is good.
Taken care of. Yep. Next, we always get some water. We have a little bit of bottled water, but we just kept buying bottled water all the time. So we decided to get one of these bigger jugs this is 7 gallons of water. And
fill this up too?
We'll fill this up as well. We have a very good filter, so that's how we get our water stored for the storm, and then we can use it later if we need to as well.
Yes.
So it's not a waste, and we don't have to buy bottles.
Yeah, and that's just for drinking and cooking.
Yep.
And we'll also fill up the bathtub with water, and that we can use to wash our hands, flush toilets, and all of that.
Yeah, we never had to use it before, in the sense of that we never lost water during a storm, but it's a possibility if something goes down at the city water, because we use city water here. So there's a possibility, but yeah.
Good to be prepared.
Correct.
Yeah, that's one thing you know for sure. When there's a hurricane, you go to the store, everybody's buying water.
Yeah. Here we go. We got water ready to go. Yeah. What's next? What else we do?
So speaking of food, we always try to eat up as much of the perishable food as we can leading up to the hurricane. So several days ahead, kind of like preparing for a trip, so that the food won't get spoiled. So we've been doing that the past few days. This morning we used up the last of our avocados and made the most amazing avocado toast. I've been really into avocado toast lately, so we really enjoyed that. So good. As I mentioned earlier, we were gonna film a video today, and I was gonna make an almond pear tart. So I have a bunch of pears and apples. I was also gonna film an apple pie. So I've got all these apples and pears, and we've got too much to do, so we're not filming the cooking video. So I decided I'm just gonna make apple pear sauce. So I've been planning to do it anyway. My kids love it, I love it. It's super easy. I just have to put it in the pot, cook it, blend it up. It's very quick and easy, much faster than filming a video and going through the process of cooking and baking and all of that. So that is gonna be something I'm gonna do a little bit later after we finish everything else up. These storms definitely bring out my urge to clean. I don't know what it is about it, but whenever there's a hurricane coming, I clean the house from top to bottom, get all the laundry done, change all of our sheets so we have nice fresh sheets and towels and all our clothes are clean. I mean, I kind of understand the psychology behind it because, of course, if we lose power, we don't have hot water, we're not gonna be able to do the laundry. So yesterday I got almost all of it done, just have a couple more things to do, clean the house, vacuum one more time, and that way, if we do lose power, then the house is clean, we have clean clothes and all of that. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the past few days. And then we actually had company over, so that actually helped out. I was cleaning for that and there wasn't that much to clean before the storm. And Sergi takes care of the outside of the house, so he was doing all of that yesterday.
Yep. I got all the outside prepared for the storm.
Hey guys, well, we're getting ready for another hurricane. This one, the name is what?
Hurricane Milton.
Milton. There you go.
Helene just finished last
Yes, it
week.
did. Yes, it did. We
This
didn't
is
do- yeah.
actually from Hurricane Helene.
We
Sergi
didn't have to
tucked
do much.
everything
I
in
just put
over
it
there.
Kind of put it all in here so it doesn't
Yeah.
like slide around. But for Milton, we have to get rid of all this stuff and put it in the storage, put it in the garage,
Yep.
take it apart because you don't want anything like this, like a parachute flying, damage the house or windows or other neighbors.
Yep.
So anything that could start moving around in the hurricane, we want to put away so there's nothing in the backyard. So that's our task for today.
Yep. And then we also have some siding we have to fix up. Well, Sergi has to fix up.
Yeah, some reason it started popping up over there. I gotta put it back and make sure it doesn't fly away when it starts getting windy.
The main thing is to put away all the things that the wind can pick up and start flying in somebody's windows. We don't want the damage from that. So we picked up all the stuff from our backyard, put it in our garage, stored it away, and our grill. We have a swing and a table. All that furniture is all out into the garage.
I'm really looking forward to using this table again soon once it cools off a little bit. We had so much fun eating. We ate brunch almost every day outside.
Well, that was easy. Didn't know it folds that way. I thought I was gonna have to take it apart.
That's good.
Okay. All right.
And the swing. Oh, I really enjoyed that swing. It's been too hot in the summer, so we haven't used it a lot.
All right.
And then it's still nice and sunny right now, and we'll bring in all of our flowers that are in pots and put them in the garage as well.
Correct. Yep. So that way it's safe for us and for our neighbors.
Here we are. Looks like you're ready.
Yep,
Cleaned up.
looking good.
And fixed up the siding so it doesn't pop off. And
Looks
we're ready to go.
perfect.
That was easy.
Easy?
I mean, it was an hour of prep. And that's all we need.
Yep.
Yep.
We also want to make sure to charge our electronic devices, our phones and things like that. Make sure we have batteries for flashlights, candles, and
Yeah, I charge all of my tools, batteries for all the electronic tools, and that way we have tools if we need to after the storm.
So I think we're in good shape. We're going to be waiting for Hurricane Milton. It's going to start tonight, and then the worst
Throughout
of it is
tomorrow.
going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, Wednesday is the day, and we'll update you and we'll show you what it looks like after the storm. Hopefully, there's going to be nothing to show.
Yes.
puzzle day and Adventures in Odyssey day, right?
Oh, those look perfect. Look at that. Get some butter on them, make them even better. I also have some cookies. These are split seconds. I love these. These are so simple to make and they just taste incredible. They're so soft. So I'm gonna put these in the oven. It's gonna be nice to have a little treat. So it is Wednesday night, it is 6:37, and we still have power. It's been raining all day, but it's not really a heavy rain or anything. Got some wind. The wind has definitely picked up a little bit towards the evening, but it hasn't been anything significant throughout the day. So we're just hanging out here at home all day. Rainy, cozy day. The boys have built 3 puzzles throughout the day, listening to Adventures in Odyssey. And we've just been relaxing. I think they're not too hot anymore. They're still warm though. Here, pick one out, Josh. This one here. I just love when they get nice and golden and crunchy. The cheese, yum.
Time for some biscuits.
I'm gonna show it to you. You stole my biscuit.
So good. Thank you.
I get another one. So tonight for dinner, we're eating some of my freezer meals. So I had some chicken cotolette in the freezer. So we took those out. They smell so good. And then we just made some pasta and some salad. I just have to add some sour cream, tomato, cucumber, and that's the last of our tomatoes and cucumbers, trying to use up all of our fresh produce. So that's gonna be our simple dinner for tonight.
Well, assessing the damage in the morning after the storm. We do have quite a few broken branches. The tree stayed up. Just gonna clean up some. A little bit of flooding in the front. For some reason this is not draining. So nothing major.
Scary.
What do we got here?
Oh,
Oh yeah, look at that. It's swimming.
is it a lobster? Look at it, it's swimming. Oh, it's a fish.
That's so cool.
It looks weird.
I don't know what that is, but it's swimming.
Or maybe it's just crawling. I see little legs on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks kind of like a big spider. It's cool. Josh, it's moving. It's moving. It's walking. Josh, it's walking. Get over here.
All right, boys are helping.
Well, maybe I'll just put some acorns away right now.
All right. Oh, there you go. Good job, Joshua. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
All right, cool. Nathaniel, gonna help too? All right, one at a time. Very good. Good from the front. Good job, boys. Thank you so much for your help. Appreciate it.
We're back with an update after the hurricane. So this is Tuesday after the hurricane. We were gonna do this update a lot sooner, but we actually got sick. Pretty much the whole family, except for Joshua. He's still hanging on strong.
Yes, he is.
But anyway, so we did lose power.
Yes, on the night of a hurricane when it was passing through. Yep.
So we were prepping on Tuesday, and on Wednesday it was pretty much dark and stormy for most of the day.
Yeah.
And the worst of the storm was at night, as usual.
Correct.
For whatever reason, this is how it typically is.
Yep.
Hurricane is at night, so we don't really see much of it. We just hear the wind, and the wind was really
strong.
bad. It
Very
was
strong,
so
yes, this
strong. But we did get to see some of it earlier in the day. So the boys were watching, looking out the window. They were building puzzles all day and reading books. We still had power. We lost power that night.
About 10 o'clock Wednesday night. We lost power.
Yes. And then we didn't have power until Saturday afternoon. Honestly, we were super grateful because we still had water the entire time. Obviously, it was cold water, but it was running water. We could wash our hands, flush toilets, and all of that. So that was great. We're always super grateful when we have water, even when we don't have power. And like we told you guys earlier, our neighbor has a generator, so that was amazing. We were able to keep our refrigerators running and didn't lose any of the food. And since we have the gas stove, we didn't even end up using the grill. We just used the stove the whole time, so we were able to eat just as we usually do, honestly. So we were super, super blessed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we have amazing neighbors. What I love about Florida is when we have these storms, everybody just comes out and helps each other. If somebody's tree goes down, they come out and help clear things up and carry the debris away, and everybody's just super. You see the neighborliness coming out, and everybody's just helping each other out, and I love that.
And most Floridians are ready for the storm.
Yeah.
Because we've been through many storms before, so most everybody has a generator.
Yep.
And have gas, extra gas for the generator. So
Yeah.
that was good. Every other house had a generator running, and neighbors were sharing. Like we would share with our neighbor, our next neighbor over. He was sharing with his next neighbor.
Yep.
So every other house had a generator running for the fridges and for the fan and things like that.
Yep. Yeah, or people would go to their family member's house that had power, or their power was restored earlier, and it was just, honestly, we weren't in any kind of hardship. None of the trees fell. A big branch fell off of our front tree, but it didn't damage anything. We lost a bunch of our flowers that we planted, so that's pretty much the only thing that we're gonna have to replant our flowers, which is not a big deal at all. If that was the only thing, that's nothing compared to what so many other people suffered, and especially people who lived on the coast. It's terrible to see how much damage there was over there, and people lost their homes, and it's devastating to see that, for sure.
Yeah, flooding and things like that. Yeah, we don't live, like we've mentioned before, we don't live next to the water, or next to the Gulf Coast. So if you live farther away from inland, the possibility of getting flooded is much lower, unless there's a river that's over flooded and something like that.
Yeah.
But you're really never safe anywhere. I mean, people in Asheville, in the mountains, got flooded. I mean, think of that. It's you just never know. We're so blessed that we did well through the storm.
Yeah, and it was also another big blessing was that it actually cooled off after the hurricane, and we had a lot of nice breezes, and it really helped to cool things off. So we opened some windows and doors. It was really hot during the day.
It was about 85.
Yeah, so no AC, but honestly, no big deal compared to everything else, and it was great. We also were able to run a fan for part of that time, so that helped too. Yeah, so.
And then on Friday, things started opening back up, and we went out to eat on Friday. So part of the time that we were spent in the house in the heat, we just went out to eat and kind of
AC.
in the AC, cooled down and kind of hang out.
Yeah.
Away from the house a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it was especially helpful because we didn't have to wash dishes and clean in the dark. So and use the and also use the stove, heat up the house more towards the evening, and also it cooled off in the evenings as well. It was much cooler at night.
Yeah.
So we
it was
also
about 76 to 74 at night.
Yeah, it was
outside. So,
so much better that we were able to sleep and not be super hot. So yeah,
it was good.
And then on Saturday, Sergi went over to help his brother because his roof got really damaged, and him and a few other guys and their family, they were covering the roof so that it, they wouldn't get damage if it rained and stuff before they get it fixed.
Like temporary covering the roof with hard plastic. So because a lot of shingles flew off of his roof, and water started dripping into the house the night of the storm, and he knew that if he wouldn't cover it, that next rain his house would be really bad.
Yeah.
So we covered it up with plastic and kind of temporarily protect his roof while he's going to get somebody to come and replace the whole roof, or the shingles on the roof, I should say.
Yeah, and while he was over there, our power got turned on, so we were celebrating for sure.
Yep.
And the boys did great throughout the whole time. I mean, honestly, the longest that they had to sit in the house and not do anything was on Wednesday. And they just built puzzles, read books all day. And then they were like super pumped because they hit a record of how many puzzles they built in one day. And
was it 8?
Well, that was throughout the whole
okay.
the whole time, not in one day. I think it was 4 or something in one day. But then the next days they were just outside. They were loving it in their rain boots, walking through all the puddles and carrying branches and helping Sergi and getting much needed sunshine and vitamin D. So they had a blast after because they were just outside going on long walks and bike rides, and so they did great. And they're at a really great age, so even when I was in bed with 103 fever, they could take care of themselves and keep them occupied and find something to do. So
yeah, we were very blessed, and that's our update for Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, hopefully this is it for the hurricane season.
Yep.
I hope so anyway.
Yeah, it's getting colder in Florida. That means that the hurricanes are very unlikely when it's getting cold.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, that most hurricanes, the worst ones, are in September and October, and it's the middle of October, so hopefully this is it.
Yep. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully this was interesting for you to kind of go along with us and going through the storm and kind of see what happens in Florida during a storm.
How we prepare and
how we weather the storm.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next time.
See you.